So we have a bonus on the podcast. 128 we did recently, just like 2 or 3 days ago.
Yep.
All right, live, and we had Chuck who came with us to C2E2, and we met a rather special person who was very cool with us, and we just had to get him on the podcast.
Yes, very nice, very awesome guy.
And he chose to get on the phone with us and come in on a Wednesday on the podcast. Now, we don't do this on the podcast ever, on a Wednesday special. But we had to get on here. We had to get our boy, Austin Burrows Art on IG, and we just had to talk to him about C2E2, and it was very cool meeting him and see where he has been. So, Austin, say hello to listeners.
What's up?
So what's going on, man? So you're from Chicago, right? Born and raised?
I'm like I guess an hour and a half west of Chicago. I kind of live in like the boonies in a small town called Princeton. So
small town in Princeton. Probably what, 30,000 people, something like that?
No, like 7,000 people.
Oh, like
Wow.
that small town.
Like tiny.
Yeah, we're from like the Metro Detroit area. There's like millions of people around where we stay.
Oh, so you're used to the rowdiness and stuff.
Yeah, very rowdy.
Austin, if you were ever in town in Detroit and you came on this podcast, you would understand that, yes, we are rowdy on this podcast.
Oh, I don't doubt it, man. I don't doubt it.
So, speaking of travelers and everything, and we came out to Chicago for C2E2. This was my second year. Ryan's been there 3 years in a row now, and he turned me onto it because C2E2 is a fucking phenomenal time.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We met you there. There was a bunch of talk before that, but I mean, being in Chicago and having C2E2 there and everything, I mean, where did you start and what's your goal with what you're doing as an artist?
It was crazy because this is my 5th year at C2, and the first year I went, I wasn't drawing. Just happened to get into all that just because of, like, the Batman movies that were coming out, and like I was reimbursing myself in my childhood stuff. So I was like, well, I guess I'll try this Comic-Con shit and see how it goes and see if I like it. So me and my friend ended up going, and I think it was right around the time the New 52 had started. So
Great
then
time.
it made me
Great.
Yeah.
With Batman too? Woo!
Yeah, with Batman too. And it made me feel like I could get into comics now because they were restarting and there was going to be new stories and stuff like that. So I'm like, well, this is the perfect time to go to a convention and start my journey that way. So I went, but like I had bought like the number ones that had come out for the New 52 just because I was kind of psyched on the artwork and I was kind of psyched to be able to get involved and like understand what was going on.
Austin,
so my mom had actually
it was a
bought
trap.
me.
It was a trap, Austin.
It was like cocaine, dude. My mom had actually, well, she worked in a town that has a comic shop. So I would always like give her money and be like, well, when you're off work, can you go get these books for me?
That's so great, man.
And
love breaking
and like one of the first book that I well, not technically the first comic that I ever bought, but like one of the first books was the Detective #1 with Batman standing behind the Joker's head with all the dolls and everything.
Yep.
So I'm like, that's metal. I need to get that.
Yeah.
And it turns out, like, I had bought one comic book previous to that, and it was Batman 701, which I found out was the same artist that drew Detective #1, which was Tony Daniel. And when I went to C2 that first year, I had no idea how to plan for a con because I'd never been to one. So I was reading through the magazine.
So
they give you like the
C2E2 popped your cherry.
That was your first con?
Yeah. I was a virgin
man.
until C2.
Jesus.
Yeah. And that's a con to get your cherry popped at.
Oh, yeah.
Because you went on Saturday and you did two things and they closed. Like that's how I feel was as a first timer.
Yeah. Like because I'm into like vintage toys and stuff like that. Like I collect those. And the Kane County Toy Show is actually the same week as C2. It's the next day, actually. It's on a Sunday. So I always go to C2 on Saturday and then the toy show on Sunday. And the Kane County Toy Show is actually the biggest toy show in the U.S. So it's a fun weekend.
Booked weekend. I love it.
I know. But back to my first C2 thing, I was because they give you those pamphlets or whatever, those little booklets that you can get for free when you walk in, and it kind of gives you like a breakdown of where everything's at and like what artists are there. So I'm sitting in line because I was super early because I had no idea what time they let you in at.
Smart
And
if you're GA. Smart if you're GA, man.
And I saw that Tony Daniel was one of the artists in Artist Alley. And I'm like, well, shit, dude, I have to meet this guy because he pretty much, his art made me want to get back into comics. So I met him real quick. It was nothing personally signed. I think I didn't bring any books with me, so I went and bought some books with his name on it. And he signed them for me, and I went home. I was like, well, that was cool. But, like, fast forward to now, like, I have room filled with his art, like originals. I have, like, everything in my art room in my studio is just Tony Daniel stuff. So,
and it's great,
I talk
though.
to him occasionally.
You recently, before you get on the Tony Daniel train, I just want to say your recent post of what you've done and all the art in your studio is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
mean,
I love it.
I mean, even I love your fucking framed. I think there's 8 comics, 4x4, 8 comics in a plaque on there, and it's just amazing. And then when we get to this story, which we'll get to with when we met you live, the sketch, spoiler alert, the sketch that you had was also fucking phenomenal. So,
dude, wasn't it?
Yes.
And there's a funny story about that. Like, okay, so this was the second time I'd ever met Tony in person, was at C2, but I talked to him all the time on Twitter and stuff like that. Like, he's super kind. Like, he'll respond to anything.
I'm sorry, this past weekend we were just talking about, that was the second time you met him?
Yeah, at C2.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
This was the second time I had met him.
Awesome.
So, like, but I talk to him all the time. Like, I message him all the time on Facebook and things like that. He's always super accommodating. He always is willing to, like, check out my artwork and stuff like that. So I saw him for the second time. He knew who I was because he actually drew a sketch for my wedding, and he, like, made it out to me and Lindsay and, like, put our wedding date on it and stuff. So that's in my studio too. But I walked up to him, and he was super kind, like, talked to me for, like, 20 minutes. But he had some originals with him, and the one I bought, which you guys saw.
Yeah.
I didn't have the money in my wallet in cash, but I was like, do you have, like, one of those iPads that I can just swipe my card and whatever? He's like, no, just pay me later, and he just let me walk off with it. So
Whoa.
I mean, that's how cool this dude is.
That's very cool.
Well, the question is now, Austin, did you pay him?
Oh yeah, I paid him.
Okay.
So
no, I'm just kidding.
So what kind of stuff did he say about your art?
Oh, what was that?
What would he say about your art, though? Critique your work and stuff? What would you?
Like, it's weird because, like, out of the blue sometimes he'll just comment on my stuff and be like, "This looks really good, man. Keep it up." So that's always
awesome.
super motivating to hear that. But it was weird because the first comic book I ever bought in my life was Batman 701, and I was going to community college at the time, which I later dropped out because I had really bad anxiety issues, had to quit.
Fuck him, Austin.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, I was drawing in community college because I was literally physically getting sick every day from anxiety, and that's when I started picking drawing back up again, because I had drawn when I was a little kid, and I went to, like, gifted art programs, and I went to, like, my art teacher would send me to, like, these colleges for, like, a weekend for, like, gifted art kids or whatever. But I never took that shit seriously because I didn't think anybody got paid for art.
Well, when you're 16 and you're someone's telling you have a gift and you can go here or you didn't do this, you totally just
Oh yeah, you beeline the other way, dude. You don't.
Yeah,
give a shit.
you have no relevance to what they're actually talking about.
No, and I was skateboarding at the time. I was doing other stuff, so, like, that didn't even register to me.
Another promising hobby, right, Austin? Because I've been there. Yeah. Drawing or skateboarding, I'm gonna make it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna get sponsored, and I'm gonna go on to it. Deal.
Yep, I love it, man. I've been there.
Get this. I was actually in a metal band in high school.
Ooh, I'm still in a metal band, Austin.
That was on it
from high school. I love it.
Record deal. We had a showcase with Victory Records that didn't go well. And my band at the time was called As a Heart Attack, but that we're actually on iTunes if you guys want to check it out later.
Oh yeah,
But,
sick plug.
So I was doing
sick
that
plug.
stuff, and what kind of got me back into art was, I don't know if you've ever heard of Dan Mumford, but he did our album artwork, and he just did like Star Wars, like the Star Wars posters and stuff like that.
Austin,
So, like,
I did not expect a name drop out of you tonight. And I love that you just name dropped on our ass. Fucking love it, man.
I did. But, like,
Continue,
Mumford,
sorry.
I don't think he was big at the time, but I don't want to like degrade him or anything, but I don't think he was super
great
well-known.
artist. Great.
But I was seeing like how well he was getting paid to do this, and I'm like, shit, dude, maybe I can start drawing again. But like I that makes me sound bad. Like I would never draw for the money. I love drawing, but like seeing that you could do it as a career is kind of what remotivated me into wanting to draw again. But so he did our album artwork. That got me back into it. So I was kind of dabbling, like, what kind of art do I want to do? Do I want to just like design stuff? But I'm like, I love Batman, so maybe I should do comic art. So I went to the mall, the Peru Mall in Illinois, and walked into this bookstore that has later closed now. And I bought Batman 701, which was like Batman cascading out of the water with like explosion going on behind him, and Tony Daniel actually drew it. So I feel like it was like a godsend to like meet Tony Daniel and like do all this. So it was just, it's been crazy, man.
Yeah. See, that's great to hear. Like how you got, you just kind of come full circle, like we do in this podcast. We love the full circleness of just everything, because you don't realize it until you discuss it. And
it was weird because like I thought music was gonna be like that was it, because we were doing really good. We were playing with like Stick to Your Guns, Memphis Mayfire, Icy Stars, all these guys, and I thought, dude, this is what my life's gonna be. And it turned out like the music business wasn't for me. I still get along with a couple of the dudes that were in our band, but I don't know. It's hard. It's like having like 5 girlfriends. So it's crazy.
But none of them put out.
No, and you don't want them to either.
No, you definitely don't.
Yeah. See, that's awesome to hear, like how it came about where you just found it again. For me, it was kind of the same way. I read comics back in the day, and this asshole across from me kind of got me back into them. And it was right in the same era where you described, and it was right around the 52 came out. So like, what, 2.5 years ago now?
Yeah,
roughly.
More than that, dude.
I think it's 3? I think it's been like 5 years.
Yeah, dude.
Really?
I think 2012 was when it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now I have I just bought another long box, so I have 3+ long boxes. All right. And
it's an addiction, dude.
And when this started, I didn't have any. I didn't have any CGC, and I have 3/4 of a CGC box now filled.
Awesome.
On top of that,
the CGC stuff's cool, man. Do you like CGCs? I see you got the one in your office.
Oh yeah, I actually sold that. I'm horrible at keeping things. Like I've had a bunch of books, man, but I sold them all. I still have my Batman CGC. You're right. I had first appearance plays and Ivy CGC. I sold that, but like I don't know. I'm not into like collecting them as much as I was.
More into drawing.
I only have
one.
Collecting. What was up?
You're more into drawing.
You've got mail.
Yeah, exactly. And like I have one book that I stare at every day.
Great.
It's the Justice League Rebirth, the hollow version for WonderCon, I think was the exclusive.
Yep.
And Tony sent it to me, and it says "To Austin, keep working." So I look at that every day. So
that's awesome.
that's
my prized possession that will never leave.
That's awesome. So as an up and coming artist and doing what you do, and by the way, little side note, how we met you, we have no clue. I think we were just posting comic shit, and you ended up following us, and then we saw all your art, so we followed you and talked to you, and we met you at C2E2. So it's just amazing how I have never even seen you in my fucking life. We've never talked to you. No reason or rhyme for any of what we're doing right now, but somehow we linked up on IG. We saw your art. You were hyping C2E2, and we met you there. So, first of all, that's awesome. You know, just to be the artist like that.
And the thing is, like, people ask me all the time. They're like, "Well, how did you get where you're at?" And I'm like, "Dude, the social media outlet now is crazy. You can do almost anything and reach almost anyone.
Yeah.
So like, it's no different. Like, I'll follow people that like follow artists that I like because obviously they liked what I like, so maybe they'll like what I'm doing. And I don't see it as any different as like handing out like a flyer at a show. So like,
it's main vein. I love it. I love the fucking attitude. I get exactly what you're saying with that. Love
and you can't be, I'm sorry, but you can't be like a little pussy about it. You like have to put yourself out there. Like even if someone says you suck, like so what? That's one person. Keep
Fuck
going.
them. Fuck them.
Yeah. Like, and I get people all the time. They're like, "Dude, you're terrible." So I'm like, "Okay."
No, you can't say you're terrible. Like,
listen,
like,
you know, like, Austin. I'm gonna give you, before you even talk again, I'm gonna give you one boost of confidence. All right, you put your shit out there on every social media, whatever, and we have you on Twitter, we have you on IG, and we mainly met you and talked to you through Instagram. If you have remotely one person, even if you had one person on Saturday when we were at C2E2 come up to you and go, "Can you fucking sketch on this blank?" You win. You fucking win.
Yeah.
And
that's
so
and
congratulations
on
that shit, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I had like 3 other people besides you guys hit me up that day, which was like crazy. And it's even 3 people versus like a Jim Lee line. That still feels like a Jim Lee line to me.
That's a great perspective. Great perspective to look at it. And I mean, we didn't have any sketch covers when we came to the con. So me and Ryan, we went out there and we looked for a decent sketch cover just for the right name.
Yeah.
And we found them and we got a good deal on them and shit. And so boom, we searched for a blank just to get you to sketch on them. So I mean,
that's awesome. I'm honored for that, man. I really appreciate that.
Oh, well, I appreciate the sketch.
It was a great time, dude. It was cool, man.
I like it. It's really good.
Thank you. Day, Saturday, when we met you and we had so many other things that you can just look on our IG about. Just the whole day was just nonstop, just a blast, and it was so cool to meet everyone we did. And I mean, obviously, besides Stan Lee and Jim Lee, you were one of the highlights for us.
Jim Lee was.
Oh, that's awesome.
Or I'm sorry, Stan Lee, not Frank Miller. Stan Lee, not Jim Lee.
I've never seen Jim Lee, so.
Yeah, I'm going up actually in Toronto in a couple months to the Fan Expo, and he's up there. So I'm really excited.
That'll be sweet.
Yeah.
The one thing that bummed me out is like I had never had a Twitter until I kind of started drawing, and I made one for that reason. And like everyone was hyping the Batman New 52, and I was more of a.
It's so good. It's
like
so
Tony.
good.
But like I remember, I was so hyped on Greg Capullo, and I messaged him. I tweeted at him, and I was like, "Hey, dude, do you have like anything that you referenced for hands that like helped you kind of like see like a book or anything?" And he was a total dick to me. He's like, make him look like hands and blah, blah, blah. He put me on blast and like retweeted me and shit. So like, I never was a Greg Capullo fan, but like, I get it, dude. The guy probably gets hit up like every day for shit like that. Right. But I don't know. It kind of bummed me out. Like, I'm one of those people that like, if my vibe's bad on you in the beginning, like there's no turning back. Like everything I see you do is just gonna give me a bad vibe.
I can understand that, but Capullo,
and I love
he's a strong character.
I think he's a great artist, but I think he's just I don't know, dude. I just
like Ryan just said, he's a great artist, but he's a strong character.
He's
a strong character.
He's from freaking Jersey and stuff. I get it, like, but I don't know. But it was nice to see. I saw him last year at C2, and he was super nice to his fans, and like that's cool to see. But like I was hurt, you know what I mean? Like I'm a young artist, like I really look up to you, and then like that happened. So
well, I'm sure, especially as an up and coming artist, from what we see compared to what I can draw, and I see other people draw. I mean, you're really there on the cusp, and when you see certain people like that, and you kind of look up to them, it can be harsh. But I mean, if you look at Capullo's work and everything that he does, that's kind of his MO. Yeah. Like he comes across as crass. There we go. Crass. And he's a fucking phenomenal artist,
Oh, for
and
sure.
he can be a dick, which we've also
Yep.
met him. And Ryan and myself have discussed this at previous events. But then you come across him like 3 years ago. Ryan and myself, we went out to the Boston Comic-Con and we met Snyder and Capullo. And they were the nicest two tandem of bros I've ever fucking seen in my life.
Yeah.
I have pics.
I don't doubt it. Yeah.
I have pics in cosplay with those two, interacting with me in the cosplay. And it was one of the greatest times that I had. And now, they get to this plateau and it, comes off as kind of, Neil Adams-ish.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good one.
Yeah, Neil Adams, he's harsh.
And I have nothing against Capullo. It was just like, you're young and like you're really like hungry to like get to a certain level, and like they say that and you're just like, fuck.
Yeah,
Austin, always remember, fuck everyone. Do your own thing.
Yeah.
Fuck everyone.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
I feel
shit's good, man. So.
I feel like
Except
that's
for
how it
people
is
that
in the
follow
business.
Me. You guys are awesome.
For sure. So, with your art and where you're going with it, have you ever been approached yet?
Not by any really big names. Like I've had some indie people like doing their own stuff, be like, "Hey, do you want to draw?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let me take a couple more years and like really develop myself, and then I'll feel more." Because like I think every artist knows when they're able to take that workload on, and like with my wedding and stuff coming up, I was just like, not a good time. So
Ooh, dropping the wedding bells, huh?
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
by the way.
Thanks, man.
Does she know about your comics?
Yeah, she's definitely not into what I'm into, but
Is she
she still
supportive?
supports it.
Oh,
For sure. Absolutely.
Did she say, yes, I will marry you because you draw comics?
Yeah. That was hinted in there.
Awesome. Then you got to keep her, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
But like, yeah, it's been a crazy year for sure. Because like the Instagram thing's going good, and like everyone's been super supportive, so it couldn't be better, to be honest. And then I got my new studio built, so
which we recently saw in the IG videos, and like I said,
yeah,
Tony Daniel's all fucking over, and it's pretty.
everywhere.
It's pretty
Everywhere. And there's people bitching at me about it. Like, you need to have other artists in there. I'm like, no.
It's Austin. It's a lot. It's a lot, but it's pretty. Nonetheless, it's fucking pretty, man.
And now it's all signed almost, so that's even better.
I can't believe that page though. That page when you were just like, hey, look in the bag. Look in the bag, and I just opened up the bag, and it's a fucking Tony Daniels sketch on a fucking clear-cut comic page. I was like, get the fuck out of here. And on the back, there was a fucking discarded cover. Like, I was like, get the fuck out of here. It's like, yeah, check this out. Yeah, it's just another Tony Daniels piece. No big deal.
And I will promote him till the day I die, dude. He is the nicest guy I've ever met.
Yeah, but think about him. Like, he is really top level, and he's like very fairly priced. So if anyone wants to go on there, like go on his store,
dude, for sure.
Like the pricing on some of his stuff, it's like you can get like a page, like a published page, anywhere from like $2 to like $350 of like good shit. Like
exactly, and that's what like. Man, I'm not gonna get into Capullo again, but like his shit's crazy.
Oh my god,
I couldn't afford anything.
No, like he's like, I accept payment plans.
Yeah, I'm like good for you, but like if I was an artist though, dude, even if I was drawing like top level shit, like I want people to like have a piece of it. You know what I mean? Like I want people to enjoy it too. But I mean, you got to pay the bills. You got like that's his income, so I can understand that. But like I couldn't afford that shit. That's expensive.
Look, it's his income, but I know he signed like 5-year DC deal where he even said like they paid him a lot of money. He does not need to be charging $80,000 for a double page spread of Spawn. I seen he had on there. I was like, $80,000? What? Some of those Batman covers, he was asking like $30,000. I'm like, what the fuck?
He's retiring off those, man.
Yeah, right. Like, is he like looking to quit soon or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, Like I seen on a comic. I don't know if you ever heard of this company called Comic Sketch Art, right? Where they've been. You can get some stuff through them, and they sell some commission stuff. I was looking on there, like they got some like Frank Miller like commissions. It's like 15,000, 8,000. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like this is like the 1%ers, like the Tony's boy Donald Trump over here, like those
1%ers.
But
you can breathe on it if you give us $100.
And then like this comic sketch art people, like I don't know if you've like noticed about the CGC stuff,
and it's not even about just the sketch or this or that. It's about all of a sudden now we're gonna dip into the CGC realm, and we're gonna dip into anything that you have in your wallet. So our question for you as an aspiring artist, let's say you get the platform, which I think you will. When you get the platform as far as a comic artist, with the comic sketch or the CGC and just the whole thing, being paid as a comic book artist to sign from a third party or just signing and getting some CGC from a normal person and then trying to sell it for double, triple. I mean, how do you feel as an artist as where this is going?
I don't know, man. It's kind of a bummer because like I've never been to a con, I guess, where everything wasn't expensive. So like, I mean, back in the day, dude, it was like, please come see me at my table. Please let me draw you something because like you wanted to get your art out there. Now I feel like some of it's just like, hey, dude, you got $300? I'll sketch you something for you. Like, it's just crazy.
And that's normal, actually.
Yeah, that's like normal.
Yeah, and I'm humbled, like, just for you guys to be like, hey, please come sketch something for me. I'm like, hell yeah, dude, I'll be there in a minute. Like, but I get when you're like Jim Lee status and like 80,000 people are coming up to you and like that's a little excessive. And maybe that's what
Jim Lee though. Like, when you talk about people like Jim Lee, like literally, you shit, it's gold. Like that's like a different. That's a different tier.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Like it's crazy how skyrocketed that is, and it's sad to see like these diehard fans that would like stand in line for you for like 7 hours to meet you, like can't afford anything that you're doing, and it's kind of sad.
So when you make it big,
all
right, when you make it big, how would you feel someone getting something signed by you and then taking his TGC right there and getting a signature series slabbed comic? Do you feel that that's an injustice because they're going to possibly make money off you? Or are you going to charge $20 just to have a CGC person there?
No, dude, I wouldn't charge anybody. Like I say that now because I don't know, but like I don't think I would charge anybody for that. Like
even if you're the next Austin Lee.
Austin.
Jim, you got to put out now, dude. I don't know. Like, if I'm like the type of guy that if you can make money and like if you're in a spot where you need to make some money, like I can understand that. But I mean, do it as a last resort if you have to, but don't like go to a con with intentions to be like, well, I'm going to get him to sign this, CGC this, and I'm going to make $100 off the weekend. But like, that's kind of shitty. But like, if you really like are in a low spot and you need to make some cash, like I have nothing against that.
But there's a lot of people in the category that you're talking about as far as, buying a book at a certain grade and getting it signed and getting it re-slabbed. I don't think that's a...
Just keep a lie detector at your table and just scam them out.
I don't think it's an issue as long as... I mean, I'm not going up there with fucking 10, 12 books of the same fucking issue just because it's in a first appearance opposed to a first, We talked about it in our C2E2 recap, and the one salty fact that we came up with was Rob Liefeld, just because it wasn't $20, $30, $40 a book. It was, if you have New Mutants 98, it's this price. If you have what?
Which is $80.
$80
to sign New Mutants 98.
If you have what? First appearance Cable or X-Force. Like there was tiers depending on what issue you had.
Yeah.
That's where I mean
you're
the artist. You're the artist. You tell us, is that right or is that wrong?
I've tried to make like sense of it, like as in like they'll charge a high amount just because maybe they try to keep like that limited, you know what I mean? I don't know, like
or there's an internal clock that's saying this shit ain't gonna last forever.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's probably it too, to be honest.
Rob Liefeld, he'll be okay in life.
Oh, he's just fine. I saw the price figures from what two of my friends paid for Liefeld. He's gonna be all right.
Yeah, he's not.
Cue Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, he charges $20 a buck, and then it was $80 for the first Cable and $80 for the first Deadpool. And then this year, since they announced Domino's going to be in Deadpool 2, he's like, oh, now I'm charging $40 for that book.
Extra juice.
Jesus. I don't know, man. I guess it's a good way to make money.
Oh, it's a fantastic model,
it's a phenomenal
Austin.
way.
Austin, if you ever get that big, choose that model. But I will say,
I'll just send you guys like unlimited numbers of like first appearances and stuff.
We will hold you to that because I was going to say, if in the future when you get big and you fucking give me tiers of fucking prices, I'm going to be salty as fuck. Just to let you know right now, I will be salty as fuck if you give me tiers.
I'd be like, oh yeah, dude, $30. Half off.
See,
but I remember
Austin, I have no issue giving you $30 for any sketch you fucking produce. I think
that's
you're
probably like all I could charge for somebody. Like,
no, don't sell yourself short, man. I mean, we were both ecstatic that you took the time out of your schedule, whether it was just you were there at C2E2 on a Saturday, and like you said, you went and saw Tony Daniels. You were there to do some shit, but you were also there just to chill and fucking draw some books.
Yeah.
So
that's what I was like. One of my highlights was like wanting to meet people like that follow me and draw for them. So that was definitely
for us.
Highlight.
We can believe that we were able to just drop down on the show floor and just get a quick sketch, both of us, and then we went and fucking listened to Jim Miller or Frank Miller talk. So I mean, it was really cool. So I mean, we appreciate that definitely.
Yeah, for sure, man. That was awesome. And like my first C2E2 experience, like my head was like everywhere. I didn't know what to do. But like since then, like I kind of have a plan when I go. But like, damn, dude, like you said, it's just becoming like a money hungry thing, and like people are only into like the big artists, and like I feel bad for the little guys, and like. And people that can't afford to be in like those. It's just it sucks sometimes. That's what's kind of depressing.
As an artist and up and coming artist, because we're not going to sell you short at all. Have you looked at getting an artist table, and is that feasible within the near future?
Probably not.
I have looked into it. I think it'll be probably a couple of years down the road. Just when I get like life settled out and like kind of have like a better grasp on like what my plan will be as far as like if I want to go for like a whole weekend and stuff. Like right now it's just kind of crazy, but yeah, I would love to have a table there. I'm actually I have been looking into that. So that is
we will throw this proposal out there right now. If you decide whatever year you decide to get a table, you will have an assistant and muscle within two people. All right?
Yes.
Assistant and muscle in the same fucking. And I will tell you right now, 100%. I will 100% guarantee this. No charge. Because if we're in your corner, that's a fucking weekend artist alley pass.
Oh yeah, dude.
Now we have the last couple of years on C2E2 lanyards, we don't have an artist alley's pass, but we can provide a service to Austin.
I don't know
for the gain of Austin.
Whatever.
And we can help him out. So
there you go.
When you get the artist alley booth, we got you free of charge. We'll be out there.
Right, I'm gonna hold you to it. Don't think I won't.
let me tell you, we don't make lies here. All right, what we talk about is fact. All right, we don't do that type of thing.
We don't fuck around in Detroit.
Yeah, exactly. There you go, Austin. We don't fuck around in Detroit. Love it. So, well, before we let you go, you need to plug your shit. You know, give us the website, the Instagram, the Twitter, the cartel store, because I know you're selling prints.
Yep. Okay, let me see if I can remember all this shit. Okay. My Instagram, Austin Burrows Art. Some people spell my last name funky. It's Burrows, not Burroughs, like some people spell it.
Like Burrows.
Yeah, I'm like that. Sounds
not
lame.
Burrows. There's a difference. I got you.
My Twitter, I think, is Austin Burrows X. So check that out. I have like no followers on Twitter, and I've been trying for so long. And then I have my big cartel store, and that's in my link in my Instagram and on my Twitter.
But by the way, Austin, you are correct. Austin Burrows X on Twitter.
Perfect.
And that's BORROWS.
Yes.
Yeah, and if we'll meet up again next year at C2E2 with you. But if you have anything or you just want to get in contact,
there's one more place he's got to plug. He's got to plug his cartel shop. Come on, you got prints available. I'm gonna be the spoiler. I'm gonna be the spoiler. If you want to check out this motherfucker's art, Austin Burrows, check out his cartel store, which he's about to give you the address to. He's got prints. He's got sketches. He's got everything you want out of an artist, and his shit is Trump fucking tight.
Are you taking commissions?
Not at the moment, just because my timing, like with wedding planning and shit, like it's hard to. But like if I got some time, I always like to just sketch something for somebody.
See, that was the next question, Austin, because I recently asked you if you'd be willing to do a 11 by 17 commission for our studio.
I'm down. It just might take me a little while, but I'm down.
Austin, we do not have a timetable on anything in life.
Some people are sketchy, man.
No, listen, we've stuck with you this far. All right? We've stuck with you this far. We're not sketchy. Let me tell you that. So we'll talk off air about possibly, whenever you're ready. There's no time limit. Let's get a sketch together. I want something for the Mortal Studio. And something original because, hey, you're going to be there soon, and we want to be on the ground floor. So, once again, you didn't say your cartel store, so...
He said link was in the thing.
Link was in the thing?
In the
right.
Do you guys know what the handle is? Is it just Austin Burrows Big Cartel? I don't even know what it is.
The link's in his IG.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're
links
big...
in the bio.
You're big... Hey, there you go. Links in bio. Your IG, I'll take it from here. Your IG, if you want to check out Austin Burrows art that we just had on the podcast, we met at C2E2, it's a pleasure. Check him out on IG, it's Austin Burrows art. Check him out on Twitter, it's Austin Burrows X. Check out his big cartel, which he already named. Just look up Austin Burrows. Facebook, I don't know. Do you know?
Yeah. I think it's just Austin Burrows Art on Facebook, too.
Boom. Austin Burrows Art. How fucking easy is that? It's almost as easy as Mortal Podcast.
Or as easy as Tony's mom.
Allegedly. So, we're going to sign off with that. Austin, we appreciate you coming on. We want to have you on as a guest again. You are our 35th guest on the podcast. So congratulations. And by the way, you probably just made the top 20.
Nice.
So we appreciate you being on. We'll send your links out on our IG, our Twitter, our Facebook, everything like that. If you're listening because of Austin, make sure to listen to Mortal Podcast. Yeah. Subscribe on YouTube. Austin, that means you. And we'll give the share right back. So, unless you got anything else, that's going to be it for our definitive
exclusive
Austin Burrows exclusive interview.
Yes, this is so sexy. All right, awesome.
All right, thanks guys for listening.
All right, man. Soon.